Hi, welcome to this video where I'm going to showcase a run of mine in an Open Grade League tournament hosted by Arena Legendaria. This was kind of pretty shortly after the meta update, so the team that I used was not exactly up to date with what the current meta has been. There was no out of pocket to, define or showcase the best Pokemon in the meta. This is the team that I have. It's Giratina Origin, Krayley, Talonflame, Dugong, Primeape, and Shadow Marowak. There's no Ghost type resistance on this team, which already is the first very flaw. I have a Dugong to do a little bit better into Pokemon like Jumpluff, Gligar than Lapras does. It does add another Lapras weakness to my team, but for that I have Primeape with Cross Shot this time, not with Ice Punch or Close Combat, and then Giratina walls the energy of most of the Lapras. So I kind of got that covered a little bit. Really, it's just to keep Jumpluff in check, and if there's a Dusclops, that the Dugong keeps that in check quite well too. I also think that Krayley Marowak is a very, very strong core. Now, Scissor might be a little bit difficult, but Marowak just has a lot of fast attack pressure, unlike Diggersby. And then Talonflame cores, in my opinion, really well with that Giratina because it covers Scissor, it covers Diggersby, it covers most fairy type Pokemon. The only problem being the Dene. But the thing is, if you can get one bait as Giratina into the Dene and you shield play roughs, it is an extremely hard win. So I don't consider the Dene as a Giratina answer there. 4 times weak to the Dene, but a strong core, that was kind of my strategy to go with here. I made these teams like 10 minutes before in New York or on my way to, so it was like, whatever. Let's just head into these battles. In the first match of this set. My Primeape looks really good here. Pokemon that I like. Has a lot of play into Ghost-type Pokemon with 2 shoots up. And Azum's also a very playable matchup. The only problem is I don't have Ice Punch to win against Gligar. Doesn't matter. We're going to play mostly Primeape. I'm going to play a little bit weak to Azumo in the lead. And that is okay, because we have a plan. We're going to bank up a lot of energy and make a catch attempt on our Dugong. If that fails, that's still okay, because I'm hoping to ramp up later and use the energy elsewhere. The catch fails. They still throw the energy, so that's perfect. My opponents really have a lot of Dugong answers. Their best answer is a Galarian Corsola, because their Alolan Senseless runs Powder Snow. They have a Drapion I could hit with super effective drill run damage. If they have Alolan Senseless, I hit with super effective drill run damage. Gligar takes double super effect from ice. So this is kind of the only thing they can really bring in, and because I get to debuff this, it's not even as setting anymore for my Prime as well, but I will expend my energy just because I don't want to get hit. I'm going to hard swap here, keep that Dugong as potential catch, because I'm kind of weak to Azumo. If it is Gligar on the back, then I'm still fine with energy. My opponent is starting to shield, though, telling me that they want to get shields down, perhaps. That is it is interesting, that's for sure. It's especially after double debuffed Astonish. This won't really deal a lot of damage regardless. I'm gonna not throw an optimal timing because I didn't want that second Astonish to hit, so essentially get 2 Karate Chop, 1 for free. They catch it, that is perfectly fine. Prime is very fragile though, so these bubbles still add up. I'm gonna farm up though. I want to make sure that I have an attack loaded, or at least close to, for their Corsola. I try not to get hit by that Astonish because not double debuff, that will actually still do a solid chunk of damage on the Primeape. I'm even getting the perfect farm down here, which is great. Let's see, the Galarian Corsola comes in. I'm like 4 times boosted now, so whatever comes in is going to take a lot of damage. Even Gligar, look at this. This is going to be a Drapion. I've cross-chop Primeape. This is neutral. If it was close combat, definitely one-shots, but cross-chop. So there's so much damage, 4 times buffed. We don't even need the Giratina in this match. That is a good game. I won this match by 3-0. This next match is looking a little bit tedious because my opponent is triple Shadow Claw, so I have no Ghost resistance. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. The first battle went quite well for me. My Krayley obviously looks quite well into most of these Pokemon. I think that their Fortress is hardly playable, so makes it quite a safe Pokemon. The Light Spot doesn't have Fury Cutters, so makes Krayley a decent matchup there. And my opponent figured it out after game 1, so they start running Alolan Sandslash. This is game number 3. I lead my Talonflame. I'm sick of Alolan Sandslash. Even Light Spot's a fine matchup, so not even bring the Krayley this time. I brought double... what's it called? Double Alolan Senseless coverage. I win the lead there, actually. They swap in Mandibuzz. I felt like this is some kind of ABB line trying to bait out my Krayley, because in game 1 they actually let Mandibuzz with Goliath support in the back, and then I caught them with a Krayley lead. They lost that battle. So this is very fine for me. Dugong is so solid in this match because you just keep debuffing. I may actually even be able to Ice Shard this all the way down, super effective damage, of course, and then come out with a lot of energy. I think they know that their Alolan Sanchez is kind of useless, so I don't remember if I stayed in here or not. Let's see. Going for the first drill, the second one will knock out. I know it's Goliath spot in the back, so if I swap out now, they will bring that in. And at this point, I felt like that my Giratina could take on the Alone Ascension anyway, especially if they double shield here, which they kind of have to, because one Incinerate will knock out, especially after the Incinerate buff. I could just tank all the damage, the charge stick damage on the Giratina, and then I should just be in a very fine spot. So to go for the Aqua Jet here, one more Incinerate, fly. They have to shield, or I obliterate their Element Sand Slash at this point. I don't have to use any shields anymore. Giratina can come in freely. This is really... Giratina is my only Goliath spot answer. I've faced a few of them, actually. Most of them have Fear Cut, and then Talonflame can win the 2s. Giratina walls it. Dugong is absolute bad into them. In fact, Dugong has only been really good in the first few rounds. Go for the Shadow Ball, and this will knock out the Element Sand Slash. So that was mostly Talonflame and Dugong's work, really just getting that alignment there. And that wins me the game with Giratina to close out. My next opponent also has a Shadow Sableye. Again, no ghost resistance, so that's going to be tough. What I expected here was kind of that Shadow Swamp to come out to pressure my shields very easily, but my opponent ran something else here. I think I also mistyped the translation of the movesets because we manually type in the attacks here, and I thought that the Shadow Sableye had Dazzling Gleam. It actually has Power Gem. Greatly into the Dena. In game number 1, I led my Marowak into the Dena. Of course, I have 4 Pokemon weak into against that Pokemon, but Marowak and the Dena generally is a very good core. Going for the Rock Tomb, they're ABA weak to this greatly. However, they do have Ice Beam on the Lapras, so it does have some play somewhere. Let's take a look at how they will play this out. I don't think I even need to shield per se. I might if I want switch advantage. Looks like I'm just going to take this damage here. There's an Ice Beam, it's fine. Gonna go for the Rock Tomb immediately. They shield here, maybe that's okay, because shield up Talonflame could beat the Dena as well. They let it go. I'm gonna hard swap because I know it is that Sableye. And look at those, the Incinerators doing a lot of damage to actually stay in. Attempt to catch a Flame Charge. I mean, it would still do a lot of damage, so you do you. Now keep in mind, I have a Shadow Marowak in the back, which has a lot of fast attack pressure. They're still not using any shields. They go for the Parabolic Charge. This will buff their defense. So fine, because look at this. I think actually I bring my Crazy first to even take less fast attack damage on my Marowak. Because at this point, I'm like... I'm just gonna like acid and must slap everything down at this point. Like there's no reason for me to shield anything here. Parabolic Charge buffs the defense again, doesn't matter. They swap in. Hard swapping takes a turn, so they go for a Shadow Claw and a Charge Deck, which normally is good timing, but because it took a turn, I sneak a full must slap through, and at this point it doesn't really matter anymore. I'm not even in Player of Norse foul play range from the Shadow Sableye. Player from the day, then I wouldn't even knock out either, and that's gonna be with me. This match 2-0, they didn't want to play a third game. In my 4th round, I actually have to confess, because I just looked at these recordings and I was like, wait, this is the wrong Primeape. I used Primeape with Ice Punch on accident, because I had it on my team from a previous matchup as well. I played in multiple tournaments and I had Ice Punch and Cross Chop Primeape mixed up together. Didn't make as much difference, I believe, in game 2 and 3. In game 1, maybe a little bit, because my opponent has a Galarian Moltres. It does hit harder there. So let's take a look at how this is going to go. Giratina into Galarian Moltres terrible, but Primeape is an excellent safe switch into my opponent. Gonna go into it. They answer with Jellicent. Now this, if you see me play against Marco Galdo in on the NAIC stream in our exhibition match, you know that Primeape annihilates Jellicent in the 2 shields. Comes out like 4 times buffed. So it's exactly what I want. Of course, out of the matchups that I have, this is probably one of my worst Jellicent answers, but because Cradley with Acid and Grassnot will not one-shot it. It's an okay matchup for the Cradley, but it's also just as okay for the Jellicent. Like as you can see here, they shield there. And I'm actually gonna try to maximize my energy here. The thing is, that will allow them to catch, which they do here on the Galarian Moltres. So the reason why I think it didn't matter as much in this game is because a 4 times buffed Cross Chop would have knocked out as well. Even cost a little bit more energy, so maybe it would have been, I don't know, a slight deficit there. That's just copium. Ice Punch is gonna knock out this Galarian Moltres, kind of frees up my Giratina. It will be a little bit annoying if they have Diggsby in the back, because then the Giratina won't have a lot of play. They go for the Surf on the Jellicent. Kind of tells me that they do have Diggsby in the back, because my opponent kept disrespecting the Diggersby. Oh, sorry, the Primeape. I kind of got annoyed with it. They go for it. If it is Shadow Ball, so be it. Again, if it's Diggersby in the back, doesn't even matter. If it is Goliath in the back, it would be maybe a little bit unfortunate. Or if it was the Primeape, but Primeape is really fragile, so maybe it would have been okay. It is the Diggersby, however. They have a 1-turn switch because they hard swapped, meaning that I will outpace to my first attack here. It's going to deal the full damage of the Grassnot. It won't really matter as much. The Jellicent's dry on energy, so it's not even going to get to a charge stack on this Cradley. Diggersby needs 3 charge stacks here because quick attacks also resisted. Doesn't all really matter. Disrespecting Primeape extremely hard, which is why I expect his own Primeape or the Goliath spot to come out. They did bring in the Primeape in game number 3, which got aligned to my Giratina, and yeah, I won this set by 2-1. Round number 5, I selected the correct prime again with cross shop. Again, I wasn't aware of the wrong moveset, and big apologies to Paco Run for that. But I was like going all over New York and New Orleans. I did not really pay attention enough, I guess. In my 5th round, the jump off looks kind of annoying from my opponent because it kind of breaks some of my cores, like Primate and Marowak, but I'm gonna play them anyway. If they have jump love, so be it. I felt like jump love was kind of hard to play for them because my Dugong looks pretty good into 4 out of 6. Only the Dena and Jellicent really threaten it. So we're just gonna play week 2 jump love. I predict that won't really be around. And there is a Diggersby, which is a tremendous lead. They swap into Drapion. I could throw a cross shop here. I opted to go into Marowak instead. Because if I throw cross shop first, they will up base to Akuto, which would knock me out. Fun fact, in the second game, I actually swapped too slow. And because I swapped fast enough here, I'm actually able to up base the first charge attack before the second. So they won't be able to pull, or they won't be able to get a shield advantage out of this. Now I can actually align if I want to. I don't need to, though. Looks like I'm going to do it anyway, just in case they do have like that jump love in the back. And now I have to shield twice if I want to keep switch. But I'm actually going to let it go. If they have jump love, so be it. I don't really think they have something that strong into Krayley in the back. In the back is Jealous. Now I wish I didn't use any shields at all. I'm going to go for one Rage Fist here. And this will put them into Grassland range. They actually catch this on their Diggersby, which is insane to me. I don't remember how I dealt with this. I think I could go for Crusher, which will do massive damage. This should put it into acid range, which would be perfectly fine. Ideally, maybe I could keep some energy, but they were at a charge stack here, so I had to switch. If I can get the farm down here, get the 2 charge stack on the Jellicent, which does already have energy, so it's kind of scary. Let's see. Attack drop, doesn't matter. Acid, resist, it's still going to add up a little bit. In fact, might just give me a little bit more farm, so that's just perfectly fine, to be honest. Still have a shield, which I'm keeping here. Gonna go for the Grass Knot. Their only win condition might be calling a Rock Tomb, which would still put them pretty low, but I think that would win them the game. And I didn't go for that. I could just go double Grass Knot here. Going for the Rock Tomb now. They don't shield. They know that's the game, and GG's. I won this matchup by 3-0, and in game number 2, I pulled another disgusting ABA into Jump Love. Speaking of annoying team compositions, in round number 6, I played against someone who kept disrespecting both Prime and Giratina incredibly hard, and I couldn't align it very well. They have Fear Cutter Goliath spots, so meaning that Giratina walls that. They have Skullber's Lapras, Giratina walls the charge stacks. Yes, they have Jump Love. They won't use that as well, though. Let's take a look at how this is going to go. I believe in game number 1, they got like their Diggersby aligned on my Giratina. Now, I have Cross Chop. Specifically, this is one of those matchups where I like Cross Chop because it just allows me to pressure the Lapras a little bit better. You can see here, Cross Chop does a lot of damage. Give Rage Fizz and Ice Punch has become a little bit more awkward. They actually don't even throw their energy, which allows me to potentially get shield advantage. Let's see how it's going to go. They're going to keep their energy. I'm boosted on this Prime. I'm not exactly strong into the Goliath spot because I didn't bring Giratina. I'm going to go into the Talonflame here. If I... see, this is what I mean. Because if I add Giratina here, I annihilate this line already. That's life sometimes. They kept the energy on the Lapras, which is super annoying. I'm going to go for the Flame Charge here. I don't think I want a double shield, though, because they have that energy on the Lapras, and then I will still take the Sparkling Area. Sparkling Area is a really strong attack. Even though Lapras is bulky, it's going to do a lot of damage. So I'm not shielding that. If they come in with it, that will be annoying. They come in with Typhlosion instead, but they have those shields remaining. They went triple weak to Giratina here. So yeah, this matchup was pretty annoying. Rock Tomb will knock them out, though. They have energy on the Lapras, but like I said, they don't have Ice Beam, so this will... it doesn't even matter. I have a shield anyway, and that will win me this game. Game number 2, they RPS me kind of again, but 2 shield Talonflame was a little bit too good for a very low health Krayley and a Lapras behind energy. Okay, so the finals here, we're going to look into all 3 battles. If I win this, I sweep the first 2 tournaments Arena Legendaria has hosted. So I would like to. There's not a lot of pressure on me as for my opponent, though, because maybe they want a Latam person to win this tournament. The disc composition looks so bad for me because Giratina is very hard to play because of Furret. Furret Talonflame core looks really good for them. Their Talonflame also has Brave Bird, meaning it has 1-shot potential. It can actually win the zeros into Giratina or just hit everything with energy advantage. My Marowak looks good on paper, but Goliath support for them is also really good, so I always kind of fear that. And then, of course, the pressure of Shadow Scissor is immense on my Cradley, which otherwise would look pretty good into their team. So I kind of have to make calls. I am going to play some weird ABA maybe, and maybe so do they. We're going to find out. I didn't want to play the KWAC here because I felt like those electrics were just a bait out. This is an okay lead for me. I'm actually very fine with this. If I can get a shield advantage, or just a shield in general, my Talonflame, or sorry, my Cradley in the back would be very fine with this. I'm going to shield this because if I let it go, they might just swap. And look at this. This is a great play for them. Terrible play by me because I hit this flame charge like that's a whole second and a half before they... before it's even launched. They catch that. This is actually going to be extremely decisive, that they not only have the Goliath spot still, they also still have a shield. Well, they just use that, but their Talonflame is going to be very tough. And they actually risk this. I run a Talonflame with a little bit of attack, but apparently they have a higher attack Talonflame here. I'm going to shield it up, though, because I want those shields down so my Cradley can hit that Goliath spot. If you have Primate into Goliath spot on even energy, Primate will win the 0 shield scenario. But yeah, mine won't now. And knowing that they win charge security. I predict a Den in the back here, so I'm just going to throw Primate away and hope that I can sweep with the Cradley at this point. But it's going to be so tough. Because my opponent's smart. They see the Cradley come in, they swap into the Goliath spot immediately, they throw perfectly here. I believe they're like 2 off another Fury Cutter here, so, or X-Scissor, so I'm kind of tempted to throw immediately. I kind of have to throw immediately. The problem is I'm a Parabolic Charge already, so I have to make a catch to win this game if it comes to that, and I might even have too little health to even asset down their Talonflame, but it's not even the Den in the back, it's the freaking Furret. So if I had my Primate, maybe I would win, but I don't really see a lot of options where to take the energy and then take out both Pokemon with both Goliath Spot and the Furret with Primate, and also I can't even Karate Chop down the Talonflame, so it kind of was just really tough. Game number 2, I just really need to win the lead, and I just cannot. I mean, this is a winning matchup, but this time I brought Giratina. My opponent went ABA weak to Giratina in the first game, and I'm really hoping they don't do that again, but yeah, they lead Goliath spot. They gotta bring Talonflame. I'm not taking any chance this time. I'm gonna go straight fly. Maybe they predict that, so hoping to get that shield here, the shield advantage. And they actually let that go. Going for the shield advantage on the Talonflame. And they know that they win charge security now, so that's gonna be annoying, kind of. I wait here, but the game doesn't update, so that's really tough. It will be very easy for them to catch a charge sec potentially. That would only be on a Euphis though, and if Euphis came in, I would have swapped anyway. I don't live a fly here, but I have switch advantage. I'm predicting Furret again in the back, but since they have Brave Bird, they only need 2 Incinerate for that. I kind of don't really feel good about this. Try the Elam trick, but I still got 1 turn lag, so that's great. But they actually don't throw, and because I panicked after that 1 turn swap in lag, I actually go straight Ominous Winds, and they shoot that! Which makes me think this has to be like Euphis in the back. I can't lose this. So they actually throw the Brave Bird, which is fine. They stay in even. This is a fly. Which I shield up anyway, because if it's the Denna or Euphis, this does the most damage. They stay in. They're attempting to go for another one. I don't want that, so I'm going to go for the Rock Tomb. Well, it has to be Euphis in the back, right? Let's see. It's actually the same line. It's just further getting with ABA into Giratina again. Giratina was on Talonflame, but if I had in the lead. It is 7-6-6 for Rock Tombs or Grass Knot for Cradley, and it is 7-6 for the straight Trailblaze on Furret. So that means that since I had already done 1 charge sec, I would outpace, and this charge security, Furret wins it, but it doesn't matter because it's only Swift. Just because of that first Rock Tomb onto the Talonflame, I would always outpace there. And that's going to win me this game. So I get 1 game back. If they don't shield their Talonflame from a straight Ominous Winds, they would win this game, 100%. In decisive game number 3, I was like, maybe I could catch him off guard by making him think, I won't lead Talonflame 3 times in a row. So I lead Talonflame, and I have a feeling that he might be running ABA to Giratina again. I'm swapping in the Cradley. So my plan here is to get a shield advantage, and then, because this is almost one-shots a Scissor. Thing is, my opponent probably knows Batch a little better than I do, because that didn't do as much as I was hoping for. The asset doesn't add up. It's double resisted on Scissor. Going for the Grass Knot, which is not going to do anything. In fact, this is silly, because, you know, if they didn't throw there, I could have double debuffed it. Now I even take a Night Slash, which is worse, because I think now I might almost be in fly range. So this is not ideal. I'm hoping that I tried to get my Primate in a position where I have shield advantage. Oh, look at this, by the way, beautiful. And notice that I also got so desperate I run super weak to a Den Elite, which I would probably just play once. My opponent doesn't throw, probably fears a potential catch here. We go for the fly. The fact they're afraid that I would catch maybe thinks there's a Goliath spot in the back. I'm gonna go for the shield here because I need more incinerate damage. I need to get this into Rage Fist range. If I don't get it in Rage Fist range, I will lose this. My opponent is at 2 attacks now, so there's not really a point in shielding. I'm gonna let it go. I don't get the incinerate damage now, but Allah. Let's see. My opponent's at another fly. I believe they're one incinerate of another. And this might barely not be Rage Fist range. If I had a close combat, I could have thrown it here, and that would have knocked out. And then if it's third in the back, I would win the game. Without that, I don't win this game. We're not even going to find out the third. It was probably going to be Goliath support or the Ferrets. If it's Goliath support, then yeah, 3 times ABA weak to Giratina. I should have trusted the Pokemon more. And if not, well, then third, yeah, my Prime would have been a great call for that, but their Talon Flame, especially winning Charge Security, was just so difficult. There's so many core breaks on the team. I kind of had to respect it. Then I kind of expected it maybe a little bit. Scissor, of course, yeah, got on my Cradley exactly when I needed it. So, well played. I didn't sweep it, but 6-1, not too bad. I don't recommend this team per se, but I guess I kind of made it work. Maybe more driver than car. I'm still working on making Giratina Origin work anywhere. So we're still going to be building on that. If you want to play these kind of tournaments as well, make sure to join the server of Arena Legendaria. I will post the link in the description. Most of this is mostly in Spanish, though, the website. So if you're not familiar with that, make sure that you have your Google Translate ready like I do. Hope you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.